I brought this. Hey,
We're back.
Still in this thing. If you watched last week, Dana's okay. She's alive. I nursed her to health. Are you okay? You okay? Okay, I'm sorry. The English come out. And so we're talking about 16 lessons we learned in 16 years. If you just joined, go back, listen to last week's episode. We talk about 1 through 8. A lot of great ones in there. We're gonna go 9 through 16. These are in no particular order. Let us know which one resonates to you. And so as we always go through, some to help the algorithm, just drop anything in the comments real quick. Hey, wave to us wherever you from, whatever works for us. It helps the algorithm listening on whatever you're doing. Thank you. First of all.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
We love our MF.
MF, thank you. She said it. She said it. We love our MF.
Our Mr. Fan.
We love you, MF. We love you, MF.
Yes.
We love y'all. So you can subscribe all those stuff. Like, we'll pause for a moment. If you've been shacking with us, pause for a moment. Freeze that. All right. You hit the button. Thank you if you did. And continue to rock with us. We're here. We're going to go through 9 through 16. 16 lessons we learned in 16 years. You already know who we are. Let's get right to it.
Yes.
Number 9. Prioritize your marriage over the kids. Prioritize your marriage. We jumping out. Prioritize. And this is something that's very controversial. Because I was reading a little thing where they said, it's from women for the most part, but I have seen some men in that same bucket to where the kids are prioritized over the marriage. What is your first? I felt a pause from you over here.
Oh, no. Y'all don't know what it is. It's just like that. Shut this
let me
right
go.
here.
Come on, close to me.
Thank you. Oh,
okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So, prioritize your marriage over the kids.
Yes. Yeah, prioritize your marriage over the kids.
Mm-hmm. I think that's important. I believe it's so important to put your significant other because basically you want your kids to have a healthy relationship, right? Even when they grow older, you want your children to see healthy relationships, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's so important for kids to realize, okay, it is God, your significant other,
we talked
kids.
About this.
Yeah, we did. And so, and of course, there are certain phases of life where, of course, it's not the fact that your significant other is not above your kids, but of course, when a child is a baby, of course, there's additional needs and all that stuff for a child. So I believe I believe it's important to realize in certain phases of life, of course, you may have to put a little bit more emphasis with the children or whatnot. So, yeah, but
I didn't want to cut you off. You said I stopped. You said I learned from last week. I put my hand back. Mm-hmm. I was waiting for you to. I want to ask a question about that. Uh-huh. When the child is young, men, especially, we look at y'all and we think that y'all prioritize that little snot-nosed joke. That little kid over the husband. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys feel like that. Mm-hmm. Why do you think we feel that way?
I think because at the end of the day, I still feel like, I don't know, I think men have to ask that question. Now, I have my perception of what I feel is. I feel like
what do you think y'all do that?
Huh?
Is there anything that happens that could make a husband feel like that?
Well, no, at the end of the day, when you are, especially when you have a baby and you're nursing, you're first time mom, second time mom, or whatnot, it's a lot, right? It's a lot of responsibility. You're trying to balance, like we discussed last week, like your career and try to be, how am I going to be a good mom? How am I going to be even better wife now that this kid, so his needs are still being met. So you feel like you're pulled in so many different directions. But I believe, of course, as the significant other, and this is one of the things I ask of you, is just be more understanding. This is a certain small time frame of our lives to make sure that I'm still able to nurse and all of that stuff, sleep, So yeah, so and at the time we had 202, so we was like, it was team no sleep over here, right? So we still got those pictures to show where it's just like nothing but sleep. So I think it's just important. All I'm stating is, because I didn't mean to go into all of this, but what I'm stating is there may be certain times of your life where it may be our spouse may feel like that they're not top priority, but it's just the fact that it may be a phase that wife is going through, especially when it comes out to kids. So all I'm saying is just be more understanding with
Got
that.
it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So men, I think we can be more understanding those times,
Mhm.
and like knowing it's a short term, and then like also I guess on the other side, so men being more understanding, women doing what during that time.
Also, just being understanding of the man's needs as well, to make sure that you
That's
don't neglect, their
hello.
needs as well.
You
Yeah.
see a dude just started doing cabbage patch right there.
Yeah.
That I feel like is something that's said is not real. It's not done. It's off. I think
Mhm.
because the man is grown and the child is young, they're like, oh, he'll be good. He'll be straight. I think that's something that I don't know if we did with it as much. I think that was something that we kind of had to think of just trying to find the right niche for that. So I think if that's you, you got a little kid, you got a kid coming, or you still got a kid now that's 17 and still sleep with y'all. He like, when this kid gonna move to their own room? Or she may be the same thing. It's like being able to talk about that. I remember when you went to DC, I moved Malia out of there. I said, I didn't make this room. So we moved that baby on out of there. Get that baby on out.
Let's correct it. You. Not we.
But that's what we said. I want you to help me. I want you to want me too as much as I want you. I think that's where the men situation is. They not feeling wanted in that situation. It feel like, okay, I get that part about the grace, but like just some nuggets will help out. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right. So what is this? Number 10. Number 10 is exercise, walk, and talk together.
Yeah, I think that's important. I believe working out together is definitely important if you can. Of course, if your schedules allow it. I think that's one thing I did miss about the pandemic. Some people were saying that pandemic was the worst thing could have happened to us. But I think a couple of things the pandemic taught us how to slow down, right? Taught us how to slow down, as well as taught us like life is too short, enjoy life, right? So one of the things that we used to do a lot during the pandemic was we used to walk around, like because we were in the house and stuff like that. At that time, we didn't know what was going on, right? Everybody was just trying to figure this thing out. But that was one of the things that I enjoyed just as a family, us walking together outside and all of that stuff. Because at that time it was like, okay, we just got to get out the house, right? So so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was cool. Let's talk to somebody who's listening and watching right now. I'll talk to the husband that's not exercising, the wife is, and you talk to the wife that's not exercising, and the husband is.
Okay.
Got it? I'm gonna start with them. Get your tail up. Okay? Don't let that lady be fine. And you be sitting back over here, busted and disgusted, eating corn chips and pork rinds all this time. Stop eating them Hungry Man dinners and get your tail up. You know what? You look in the mirror. I know we ain't the same person we were when we got married, but how far have you gone past that? Get your tail up, get it together, or somebody else come up there and scoop your lady up. Okay? Man up. I'm talking to you.
Oh my goodness.
Talking.
Well, I'm not gonna go as extreme as
the relationship on the mind.
But I'm not gonna go as extreme as Joe. But ladies, of course, we all are busy, so we can't say, well, I don't have time. All of that stuff. So it's so important that if anything, it's for your health, right? And it relieves stress. One of the things that we have learned is the reason why people are so tense and they're just angry and all those things is because we don't have an outlet. So I went back to kickboxing, all of that stuff. If you got to imagine whatever you need to do, you imagine somebody being on that bed. It could be your spouse. That way you can respond to them positively.
You just told the lady to punch the man.
No, punch the man. Don't punch your husband. Kick the bed. Yes, whatever you need to do. It could be whomever, right? But I think that just helps to relax you, and it makes you like, okay, namaste it out, So I think it's just so important, though, even if it's not to be, because we all want to be fine, no matter what shape or size, we all want to be fine. But if anything, it's to help you internally as well.
Let me talk to y'all too, ladies. I was gonna say that Dana's very Christian. She's gonna try to give it. She's gonna try to give it to y'all. I'm telling you right now, that man is visual. It's not every man, because I know some men don't care. They say, hey, some guys like you morbidly obese. Like they want you right there because they feel comfortable with you like that. We watching 400-pound life one time. That dude, she's 600-pound life. 600-pound life. And that dude got mad when she started losing weight because he was like, oh, she gonna find somebody else. But I'm not talking about that guy. Yeah, that's a whole other story. I'm talking about the guy that you're married to. Most likely is a visual person. And some people, men or women, once they got that ring on, they say, you know what? Hook, line, and sinker. You ain't going nowhere. lies. So you want to put the same effort that you can in as we got divorce is up there. I'm not saying it's one of the reasons. I'm not saying to be.
When were you talking? I trying to remember. Wasn't you and I talking about the man who got married?
That's the book I got for us to read. Though that's the book I got for us to read. I got you a copy. That's a great book. I want her to read it so we can both talk about it. I want to hear from a woman's perspective. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, I got the book right here. It's in my luggage right there. I got this both copy, and I gave you the best copy. The one with the thing on it. But that's the point is that brother desires something visual for him to look at, and he wants to look at his wife. And if you're not putting forth at least the effort, he gonna be looking somewhere else. I'm saying he should just love me the way he is. Or I'm sorry, he should just love me the way I am. He should, but he ain't. Because his visual, he's not. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of this narrative of thinking you can be 8,000 pounds and not do nothing else, and they should love you, but he ain't gonna like you. He ain't gonna like you, and so I'm telling you I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry, I'm getting on a soapbox, but it's a lot. We're gonna move on to this. I'm gonna talk about this on Instagram, something like that. But I wanted to know, just put forth the effort. Ask him right now, with no negative consequences, would he like it if you were to get in shape? And don't punish him. Sleep on the couch, as he said that. Give him fair grace, like y'all talking about that grace we talking about. Give him that grace. Stop and give him that grace to answer and see how he responds.
But Jeffrey, I had stopped working out for a while, and you were still attracted to me.
You wouldn't know 4,000 pounds. You got 4. Now, I'm the type of person, I'm going to stop you before you get to 4,000. I'm going to lock you in the room, whatever. I'm going to put you on that doctor.
Jeff probably the type of person. I'm saying, so we may get the fight. Didn't you one time I had something in my hand that if you knock it out of my hand?
Oh, this one. So I'm also a physical instructor. Like I do group instruction.
Fitness.
What's that group?
Physical.
Oh, I'm there too. Excellent. No, you got 2 kids, baby. But the point I'm trying to make is
yes.
Who? See how this gets up. The point I'm trying to make it is do what's necessary. Y'all watch these Tyler Perry movies and stuff like that, thinking whatever. Listen. The sad part is a woman will get divorced or get broke up with and do exactly what that man required or asked of her to do after she get broke up. After he filed for divorce. Then you want to put forth, or vice versa. The dudes do that too. I ain't saying it one way. Now you know that's true.
Okay, all right. We're going to move on. Because that went along.
I'm talking
number 11. Proactively apologize. Proactively apologize.
Okay, I'm starting that. Go ahead then. You hurt my feelings.
Jeffrey, I'm so sorry.
For what?
For hurting your feelings. But let me tell you something, y'all.
There's no but.
No, I'm not. There's no but. There's no but. There's no but regarding that.
Okay.
But I just said most of the time, like 85% of the time, I'm the one that's usually apologizing. Jeff, it's rare that Jeff apologizes.
Look at my mouth.
It is so rare that Jeff apologizes.
Okay.
So Jeffrey, one of the things I would love for you to do as we embark upon year 16.
Yes.
I would love for you
to exit the end. So this is
start apologizing when you do something wrong versus giving me buts or a reason why you feel like you're right, I'm wrong, all this stuff. I would love for you, if I come to you and I say XYZ, I would love for you to just apologize.
Okay. I was going to ask you at the end, what's one thing you want for the person to do?
That's my number one.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down. So look, I didn't even rebut on that. I said, all right, I'm going to look for proactive ways. That's one thing I have learned. I'm going to look for proactive ways to apologize. Yeah. That's your thing. You give you mine now or you wait to the end?
No, you wait to the end.
Okay, so I'll wait to the end. All right. So y'all hold me accountable for that. And then you hold me accountable for that. I love accountability. So what was that? All right, what was that? That was practically about what you say?
He really doesn't love accountability.
I do love accountability.
Okay. Number
Show
12.
me some receipts of what I don't like. Well, okay. Hold on. That's right. Proactively apologize. We got that point. That's the point for me. Y'all keep me. Let's bring this up on the podcast, and we'll get feedback. Just go out the feedback, baby. Listen, I ain't got no problem. I don't know. You got me messed up, boo. Number 12 is ask open-ended questions that get to the root of what's going on. Open-ended questions. I mean, talking.
And this one is hard for me. Why
so, man? Why so, Miss?
I shared
apologize.
this before
Go
because
ahead.
like that's the reason I'm so quick to apologize because I know this one right here is hard for me. Like I ask questions, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not the one to be like, okay, ask a question, unless it's something that I'm really, really, really interested in.
It's
it's really hard for me.
What are those things? What are those things? Go ahead and listen. Go list the things that you're really interested in. Just listen. I can. If you don't have your list, I can go ahead. You want me to? Thank you so much for asking. If it ain't about your Disney club or your cruise club or some type of trip, that's the only. I be like, this is the part. So this is the one. This is getting into what I was gonna say. I'm saying about later.
I know this is his coming.
I be like that. How we gonna connect if you're not asking questions? You can come in here and watch 90 Day Fiance with me. That's not connecting with anybody. Would y'all tell her that
I didn't say that's not connecting.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying your actions. Or hold on, let me do this. Let me do one of the things I do in coaching.
No,
I imagine.
Okay,
let me do that. So when you don't ask me open-ended questions, I imagine that you're not interested in hearing what I have to say. That was smooth. You see how you?
He just watched that movie, Father of the Bride. Last night, and that's what they did in the
The truth is
great movie, by the way. If you want to go watch it,
I still gotta finish that. Watch it. So so circle that. I don't know what you do. Circle that.
I got it.
All right.
Ask open-ended questions, and I usually do ask you questions. I do, but my thing is,
what receipts are those?
I do ask you questions.
I'm not debating.
Like, hey baby, how's it going? How was work today? What Tish? What you didn't get in trouble with Tish today about? Because he always in trouble.
Listen, this is the face of somebody gets in trouble.
Yes, always in trouble.
Second of all,
always. I rarely say use the word always and never, but he is always in trouble.
That's not the heel I'm down on this one. The third question is maybe it's modeling what I think open-ended questions are.
And then another thing too. Okay, hold on. No. So this is Jeff. So Jeff will sit there and be like, he'll ask me a question, right, and I'll respond, right, and then he'll be like looking like, but I'm like, you just give me your answer. You already know what the question is on the table. Why do I have to go back and ask you the question again? It's a two-way street. If you ask me a question and I answer, go ahead and answer it. You came with the question.
That's a great. I'm glad she brought that up. This is why I like receipts. Yeah, go back to any podcast. Go back to I was any podcast. I'll ask a question. She'll respond. Yeah. And I'll sit back like.
But go ahead and answer the question.
It is
the question's
about
on the table.
Tennis is like when you hit the ball in tennis. The other person will be like, you got to hit the ball back. It's a part of.
All right. So going forward,
stay to talk, please.
Forward, I will commit to when you ask me a question and I respond, I will reiterate the question back to you.
Thank you. That is a nugget toward getting there. I don't want you to think that's the overall goal of what it is, but that's a piece of what the company is. Okay. What I would tell Danny is Amucha's next one is she has this ability, and this is what I'm trying to keep on the kids too. It is a addictive thing. So like if she gets on Wikipedia or something, let's say we watching the movie, right? A random thing comes up. She'll go into that wormhole deeper than what, or if she's watching an episode of something, she'll watch. She gotta continue watching. I'll be like, Dana, shake out of it. Shake out. Do you think this is true? This is what I imagine to be true. Do you? So if you watching the show, or like 90 Day Fiance, she gotta watch all of them. I'd be like, so good, 90 Day, come back. Is this true for you or not? Yes or no?
I'm when I commit to something, I'm all in. So that's all it is. That's my.
It's addictive.
Don't say it's addictive. Don't.
How is it not addictive?
No, hold on. That I am committed to the show. So my thing is, don't speak on my auditions. We could talk about yours. I'm not talking about. Don't tell me what. What? Back you cut me out. So all I'm saying is, I am committed and I'm invested in the show. When I watch something, I'm all the way invested, committed, and then when it's off, I'm done with it. So point blank, period. So I was able to watch Abbott Elementary in one night because I was committed to the show and I was done.
Please give them what happened. Please give them what happened before you watched
They've been asking me to watch Abbott Elementary. I didn't have time to watch it. When I finally got the opportunity to watch Abbott Elementary, I watched it and I caught up in one evening and I was done with it. And we could all, so now when the next season come out, we could all watch together as a family. Yay!
The classic female response. What? I just want to ask you if we can move forward, okay?
Please.
What was, you said you were busy. I like receipts. What were you busy doing?
Most of the time, like, either I was coming in late from work or I was watching 90 Day Fiance.
So, what we used to do before we had kids were, we would watch shows together. Now, so that's another thing I say receipts work. And saying, okay, it's not about the show for me. It's about watching the show with her.
Mm-hmm. And I've invited you to watch 90 Day Fiance.
But that's the point. But that's the point. Hold on. Hear me out. You say, what I hear, this is what I hear when you just sit there. You're saying, I value me being committed to 90 Day Fiance over watching something with you.
That's not what you said.
That's what I'm hearing.
But that's not what I'm stating, Jeffrey. And I apologize if you feel that I
you have to apologize where I feel that way. No, you don't have to apologize where I feel. My feelings are I'm bringing
your feelings are valid, and I can negate your feelings. Okay. So what?
Do you see the connection though? You need me to restate it?
No. We're gonna move right along.
this is the classic. It's about that like you got his hands raised up right now. A reverse it. All right, let me watch 2 hours of my show, but then let me.
90 Day Fiance is 2 hours, and I'll be done with it.
This is what happens. Then you watch Married to Medicine, Real Housewives, or something.
First of all, you're lying. How is that? Because hold on, all those shows don't come on at the same time on the same night. Anyway, so let's stop there. My thing is, and then there's different seasons for different shows. So don't do that. Don't do that. Because Married to Medicine and Real Housewives are really on at the same time.
Never said that.
So my thing is, let's not go there.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let's move on to number 14 if we're going to make it to year 17.
See what I'm saying? This is the work. I'll talk about that at the end though. Let's come back. Don't worry about that.
Number 13.
13 is keep your family out of your personal business.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you've been doing it, we've been able to make it 16 years without.
Yeah, it's tough to do that because what happens is you forgive the person, but your family does not. If you're in an abusive situation, it's totally different. Yeah. But just disagreement stuff you have, like keeping that within you guys, right. Doing that first. Yeah. Some people are quick to, you got to have an outlet to talk to somebody else. So everybody else is in your relationship, and they're not in your relationship on a daily basis.
Right. So it's important. Keep your family and your friends out of your personal business.
Yep. 14, date nights are mandatory.
Yes.
Some you want to keep going.
That's something we need to get back on.
Yeah.
It's been harder during the summer because of the kids been out and they didn't get to go to summer camp because Jeffrey didn't want to pay that money. But yeah.
Our kids are latchkey though, so I think what you said is I think we've had trips though, so it's like if you think financially, you got to think of. So that's what I'm looking at that thing. If we didn't have no trips, we could do date nights all the time. But I think we can make up through different things. But you may not be doing trips or date nights, so you might be like thinking that. Yeah. And you may not be able to get out because you got small kids. And this is something to do with setting a date to put those kids to bed earlier. You can change the clocks in the house, whatever, make them feel like they're going to bed later, and then you do something together that both of you agree on. See, I paused you back. Both of you agree on that you both like to do. I see your eyes cut me.
I haven't said anything.
Your eyes, I didn't say.
I haven't said
I said your eyes cut me through right there. So
yeah, just get out there, go have fun. Marriage could be fun.
It should be. Yeah. I think it should be. I think that should be the new narrative. That should be the narrative. Yeah. And as I said, once I did this time before, I didn't put this ring on. I didn't pay that 77 easy payments to get that ring for you to just be on different sides. You want to be friends with them. Last two guys, 15, number 15. Look back and look forward together. If she got a little junk in the trunk, look back.
That's not what you're talking about.
That's not what I'm talking about. What do you think it means?
I believe sometimes it's good to reflect on where we were. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about all the time when we were in our apartment together and when we were in college together. We even go back to even when we first started, when he kissed me in my car in the Malibu when I had on my yellow suit.
Almost true. You kiss me.
So, we talk about those things. Talk about Dr. Wu class or Mr. Wu class.
She would have passed it one for me. She would
Whatever.
have got the diploma.
So, it's good to because I think it keeps you like reflective, right? Because most of the time you typically remember the good times you have, right? So I think it strengthens your marriage when you do go back and you reflect on things, especially like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe we've been in this thing for 16 years,
Hello.
right? And so it helps you to strengthen, like, okay, man, we made it through this. So now it strengthens your marriage to move forward. Yeah.
And it's so easy to do in other areas, like with your kids, you pull up old things.
Oh
kids
yeah,
and stuff. It's easy then. You pull up kids doing that.
When I see old videos of Malia and Jace, I cry.
You be showing all your teeth.
Yeah.
And I say do that for the relationship too, of things y'all used to do, places you did before, of just memories we do like that. If you were in the parking lot of the movie theater and you went to the back seat, whatever it was that you got in there, make sure as you bring those things back up, text him or text her, or whoever it is throughout the day, if something comes your way.
Or even send the old picture. I love like the iPhones and stuff now.
Or Android.
Or Android phones.
Like
Google. Basically, it's okay. Whatever. It shows like the old reflections and stuff like that. So I love that. So, you can even just send them the picture. Like, oh, you remember this, babe? Oh.
Make that sound. Make sure y'all make that sound too. Make sure make that sound. All right, number 16.
Number 16 is my favorite.
16.
Make more memories than money.
I was like hit to the singing. It was make more memories than money. And if you're thinking about going to get the bag, going to get those things, you need money to survive.
Absolutely.
Definitely need money. Yeah. I'm not saying just be out there. We just gonna live off love. You're gonna be be hard to do.
Yeah, so, you ain't gonna make this 16.
But it's like making memory, and it doesn't have to be expensive. That's one thing I'm gonna tell folks. I'm the efficient, frugal king in the thing. Mm-hmm. But to be able to say, but it's like what I've tried to do is, and hopefully you have seen that. If not, let me know. Let's see how I'm trying to practice it. Is to say I try to make memories and stuff, even if it's just in the house, even stuff like that we don't have to do. So like those little things that I pick up on that. So
yeah, and I agree with that. And a lot of times people say, "Oh, y'all always going somewhere." Yes, we are now. But again, like I think another thing too is like one of those things. The other part, people, there's another side that a lot of people don't see, right? And that's one of the things that Jeff and I try to be more reflective on. But I don't know if y'all don't read or what. But one thing is like a lot of times, you see us now, like, but then it was kind of like, okay, I remember our first year anniversary, like Jeff didn't have a job, like we ended up doing a timeshare thing to go to Nashville. Yeah, Pastor Orr gave us $100. That was our first time meet him. He gave us some money or whatnot, and for our anniversary or whatnot. And like I said, we had just joined Brown in April, and then we met and just talked and started talking and stuff like that.
People don't know that's our church, like.
But it was kind of like one of those things. Like, there's another side. Like it was like. We had to, it was a lot of sacrifices. And when you guys were able to have cool air, Jeffrey was making us run the ceiling fan.
I'm feeling that engine now. That's why I be like, turn the lights on. I come out of town like, what are all the lights doing over here? Cut on.
Then winter time, we got to put blankets on. So there's another side that most people don't see, like to how we've gotten to this point, and even still utilizing some of them things still to this day. But one of the things to me is I've always been about the experiences, right? I would rather do 50 million experiences than, that's just me though. So yeah.
I think social media now, like when we got married, there wasn't a lot of social media. Like you had to be on an actual desktop to actually be on social media at that point. But I think that's a lot of the change. It's trying to impress other people. So I think when you can make memories for each other, like that's why I think friendship means so much in relationship and companionship. One of the reasons I got married to you was I liked the companionship that we had. And I think it transcends, like, if we can't go to the place that we're going right now, that's why I still want to continue to pour in and continue to build up the friendship side. So if something was ever we couldn't go, you can still have as much fun at those places. There's a lot of people with a lot of money that don't have fun together. They have access to every place in the world, but don't have fun together. I think that's a huge piece of where we want to go. So 16 lessons in 16 years. Thank y'all. Thank God for both. God, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
It's been 70.
It was nothing but
797 times.
Hallelujah.
We could have got off this boat.
Yes.
Or pushed one other person off the boat. It was like, I got your life jacket. And so as many times we felt that way. And I don't know if you've seen this before. Many people are like, I'll never argue. And I want to be clear about this. Like, this is not a crystal base, a vase. This is not something that's just pure all the way through. It's something that you have to continue to work on, continue to do. So our goal is to connect with 7 million couples. And it doesn't, I promise you, if anything, it doesn't always feel good throughout that process. So one thing in the 16 years, there have been times I was like, this is, this ain't working. And sometimes I'm like, yes, this is the perfect thing. So I felt all of those emotions, I feel like that. But it's the fact of still just showing up and choosing that person, forgiving that person, loving that person, growing with that person as much as you can, pray and do all those things together. So that you do that, talk about it, go through these 16 things. Maybe you got some that coming up. Maybe you have some others that you can help somebody else with. Drop those in the comments too as well and let them know. 16. And so it's time for us to renew our contract. Then you're going to renew your contract? Sign here. and spell your name out. I send you to your signature, but they're going to be like, this ain't my signature. Put the letters in there and go to that place. So thank y'all. You come along this journey with us. Continue to go along with us. Continue to pray for us. We want to make 1,000,000 years in regards to this. And so, especially doing this, like you add another layer of transparency to it. So now you open up to other things. So try to be strong for that. So you see, you break them down and get tired. You break them down. That's how you get them. You got to break a woman. You got to break them down.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for celebrating our sweet 16th anniversary with us.
It's our anniversary.
Anniversary.
Do. Hey, now, Mr. Marshall, if you argued, if you disagree, maybe y'all ain't talking to y'all, watch this episode, listen to this episode, look each other in the eyes and say these 3 things. I like you, I love you, and I want you. That kiss was much better last week. Go back and see that kiss last week. It was the worst one of the whole podcast. But you see that? I came back again. I didn't let them, I didn't use one thing as the thing of that.
We love you guys.
Love y'all.
And God loves you. And ain't nothing you can do about it.